Take your left hand index finger and point it up to the sky like this. Like you have just the best idea in the whole world right now. Aha! Eureka! Now, lower that finger so it's level like this, parallel with the ground. Good. Now take your right hand and wave at me. Hello. Now take your right hand and drop it on top of that left index finger. Let your fingers droop over your index finger and let your thumb hang down like this. Good. Now your fingers are not squeezing like this. They're not wrapped around. They're just dangling. Now wiggle your thumb. And now bend your thumb and touch the bottom of that left index finger. Now just the very tip of your thumb is going to touch that index finger. Cellos and bass, a little bit more of the pad of your thumb is going to touch that index finger. And make sure you're touching that index finger across from where your middle finger would be on the right hand. So tap that a few more times on the bottom here. Good. Now wave at me with your right hand again. Hello. Drop your right hand on top. Let it hang nice and loose. Wiggle your thumb. Tap your thumb to the bottom of that finger. Good. Now violins and violas, you're going to tap your pinky on top. So you're going to be tapping your index fingernail with your pinky and then lean in towards your hand a little bit like this. Now take your index finger away and make sure what's left is a nice open hand shape that you can look through, you can look at your neighbor. It's not closed off like this. We want to make sure there's a nice big open space in the middle of that hand. Make your fun noises with your tube. You sound like just the best orchestra there ever was.
You sound much better than the band.
Now, with your left hand, grab onto the end of that tube. And you just want to grab onto it in a way that you can support it, but you still have this length of tube to use. So not in the middle, but on the end like this. Very good. So now this is like what we just used our index finger for. But now your index finger gets to take a break, and we're going to use these tubes here. Wave your right hand in the air. Drop it on top of that tube. Let your fingers stay loose. Don't purposefully curve them around the tube like this. We don't want any squeezing. Just let it hang. Wiggle your thumb. Touch your thumb to the bottom of the tube. Good. Violins and violas, tap your pinky on top of the tube and lean onto your right index finger. And when you let go of the tube, not only can you see through your tube, but you should still have this nice open space in your palm that you can see through. Now squeeze that tube and feel how uncomfortable it is, and let go. Very nice. Left hand, you're going to grab onto the middle of the dowel rod like this and just support it in the middle. So we don't want to be all the way out on the end here, but in the middle where we can really support it. Now wave with your right hand. This is important. Drop your right hand next to your left hand, not all the way up here, but right next to the left hand where you have a lot of support. Let your fingers hang. Again, don't grab around the stick. Just let them hang over the stick. Now wiggle your thumb. Bend your thumb. Touch the bottom of the stick behind your middle finger. Violins and violas, make sure just the very tip of your thumb is touching the stick. Cellos and basses, a little bit more of the pad of your thumb can touch the stick. Good. Violins and violas, now tap your pinky on top of the stick. Lean onto your index finger like this. And then take away that left hand support. Make sure you have a nice open space between your hand and the stick. Good. Now feel those fingers curve around the stick. There's no tension. Check and make sure you have a thumb bump down here. That thumb keeps your palm nice and open, and you can also feel that thumb knuckle sticking out here. All right, take your tightened bow. It's ready to go. I want you to find the balance point of your bow, that point at which when you balance it on one finger, it doesn't feel like it's going to really fall one way or the other. Find just about where that balance point is on your bow. And once you have it, go ahead and grab onto it like this so you can see where that balance point is. This is where we're going to be setting up our good bow hand shape. Now we're going to use our left hand to support the bow just like we did with the dowel rod. But what's the difference now? What do we have that gets in the way? The hair. Yeah, we have the hair on the bow and we can't go grabbing onto the hair. So what I want you to do is right near that balance point, just stick your thumb in between the hair and the stick and use your left hand to support that bow so your right hand is free. So left hand is supporting the bow. You want to be right about the middle of the bow with your left hand. That way we have all this room down here to set up our right hand bow shape. Good. Show me your right hand. Wave. Hello.
Hello.
Drop your right hand on top of the bow, just like we did the dowel rod. Let your fingers hang and let your thumb wiggle. Now this time, instead of just touching the bottom of the bow stick here, what's in our way again?
The hair.
Oh, this horsehair. We can't touch the horsehair. You don't go around the horsehair. You're going to curl your thumb up behind the horsehair. And you still touch the bottom of the stick of the bow. Your other fingers still rest over top of the bow stick. Good. Now, violins and violas, tap your pinky on top. It's okay. And then lean on your index finger. And show me that good bow hand shape. Good. Feel that your fingers are nice and round over the bow stick. Feel that you have a good thumb bump. Good. Now take your right hand, wave at me with your right hand. Hello. Hello. Now drop your right hand on top of the pencil. Let your fingers hang over the pencil. And let your thumb hang down below the pencil. Wiggle that thumb here. Good. Now take your thumb. We're going to bend the thumb and touch the pencil with just the tip of the thumb. Right behind the middle finger there. Good. Now leave the thumb there. Take your pinky. Tap on top of the pencil. And lean onto that index finger. Tap that pinky some more. Now when you take your left hand away, you should have a nice open hand shape. There should be a circle here that you can see through. You can look at your neighbor and say hello.
Hello. Hello.
If you don't have that nice open space and it's squashed like this, you need to push out and show me that thumb bump there. Good. Let's do that again. Hold the pencil right in front of your face at about eye level. Wave at me with your right hand. Drop it on top. Let it hang. Go ahead and wiggle that thumb. Touch your thumb to the bottom of the pencil behind your middle finger. Tap your pinky on top. Lean onto that index finger. And when you take your left hand away, you have a nice big open space. Good. Okay, first thing we need to do is find the balance point of our bow. That point where it balances without falling over. You can just use a finger to find that balance point. When you found about where it is, hang on to it so you remember where it is. Good. Now, grab onto it with your left hand. Show me your right hand. We're going to use the right hand to grab onto the bow at the balance point. But you're going to let it rest at your side. The hair will be facing you, so you want the hair facing in. You're going to let go with your thumb, so just your fingers are balancing the bow. Now your fingers should be touching the stick of the bow and resting a little bit on the hair of the bow as well. Very good. Your fingers are nice and loose. There's some separation in between them. There's no tension. You can wiggle your thumb freely. Yeah, now take your thumb and touch behind which finger? Yeah, those middle fingers there. You want to touch behind the middle finger, just the tip of your thumb, and then show me that good bow hold. Sitting up nice and tall. Now pretend to the right of your chair, to the right of your body bases, you have a great big bucket of imaginary water here. You're going to take your right hand and dip it into that bucket of water. Swish it around a little bit. Now take it out, and we want to dry that hand off, so shake that hand dry, and just shake it. Now freeze. Now look at your hand. Notice that your fingers are separated but not tense. They're not stuck together. They're nice and loose. Shake that hand again. Feel how loose those fingers are. And then freeze. Let it relax. Very good. Go ahead and dip your hand into that bucket of water again. Nice warm water. It's not cold. You're not freezing. Good. Now take your hand out of your bucket of water and shake that water off of your hand. Then freeze. Look at that space between those fingers. Feel how relaxed your hand is. Good. One more time. Dip your hand into that bucket of water. Pull it out. Shake that water off of your hand. And freeze. See how loose your fingers are. There's no tension. There's space in between them. They're nice and relaxed.